It's the aerial assassin, your champion, Will Ospreay, taking on the newcomer, an old friend, Ricochet. And this hit all the flips and shits, didn't it? This was it. What did you think of the match?
So I thought this is a good way to open up your 5-year anniversary show, because this is a lot of what AEW is today, right? Like, this is a big portion of the AEW presentation. And it, of course, you have arguably two of the greatest in the game to do it now. And some people argue where their status lies of all time doing this, right? So I thought it was really, it's fine, right? I didn't necessarily get wound up by it or anything. They do a lot of work for this, right? They sure do flip around all over the place.
Yeah, they give you eye candy throughout, right? Like, there is nothing that you're like, oh, it's a rest hold, I guess I'll, take a drink of beer. Like, they're giving you something at all times. The thing, honestly, and this is not me trying to be a hater, because I think everyone who's listened long enough knows that this isn't necessarily our style of wrestling. But again, wrestling's big enough to where you can love this and I can love something else, and we're both happy, right? We're both having a good time. It seemed to me, and again, age comes for us all, a touch slow. It seemed like they were a bit slow on the fun things, right? Like, it wasn't as it wasn't as fast and crisp. I'm not even necessarily that they're old as far as age. It could be old as far as I've taken this bump 10,000 times and my ribs hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
so it's that. I do remember one time, I was playing some basketball sometime into my late 30s, and I remember being like, I used to be able to do that quicker. Man, I used to be a lot faster at that. I don't understand what I'm doing the same thing. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. And so it just, to me, and I was like, this doesn't seem as crisp or as fast as it, but hey, again, age comes for us all. Mortality is
undefeated.
Real. Yeah, undefeated. Except for LeBron James, apparently, because that motherfucker has yet to lose a step. It feels like.
Yeah.
Go watch the Olympics. And John Stamos. Yeah. Look at his acting. But here we go. We got the end of the match.
What people look at with him. It's exactly.
Obviously. 1000%. We get to the end of the match. We do a double count because both guys' shoulders are on the mat. So then it's a draw.
Yeah, because we're going to do this again. We're going to milk this.
Here's what I would say. Again, let's go back into this is real, all of that stuff. I understand in wrestling folklore that even if I'm unconscious, if my arm is over your body, that's a 1, 2, 3, right? However, in this, neither guy was actually going for a cover, so I don't think the ref should have counted.
So, again, if I'm in a real thing, if this is kayfabe and I'm watching this, and I know, it's not, right?
Yeah.
To some extent, you're allowed to watch this knowing that it's not, and I do watch it knowing that it's not, but like,
of course,
I kind of want to pretend that it's not while I'm watching it. And I would think there would be something in the rules that say you cannot be completing a cover whilst yourself being covered, right? So therefore, there is no double cover, because why the fuck would we do that?
Exactly.
Why the fuck would anybody ever desire that to be the outcome? We don't need that statistically. It doesn't help anything. Even if we had like a point system for rankings, like, that's stupid. Just continue the match. Just say, break apart, stand up, like you do with a rope hold, right?
Yeah.
Just
and even so, like, if he would have gave them enough time, because quickly after the draw was announced, both guys were like, no. So if you just would have waited,
exactly,
they would have got up.
Get up and now, okay, right, exactly. That's what I mean. Like,
so
that's what I mean. You can't be making a cover if your shoulders are pinned to the mat. I feel like is an easy rule to have. So therefore, there's no double cover, right?
Yeah. If you did want to do the double cover, you should do something in the fact that both guys are actually trying to cover the other, right? Like, I'm trying to cover you, but my shoulders happen to be on the mat too. Oh no, that's a draw. I'll give you that.
But that's why I wouldn't even do it a draw. I would just be like, stop. Like, you know what I mean? You can't get up. Let's go. You gotta, hey.
So Justin Roberts informs us that Tony Khan informed him that the match would continue. Cool. That's
so
fun.
Here we go. Yeah.
And here we go again. And right as we get back into the flips and nope, Takeshita comes out and he just fucks both of them up.
Which I saw this coming a mile away from when they did the like, hey, Kyle, let's go. Let's catch a plane. We got a plane to catch. Mm-hmm. I noticed he didn't say all three of us got a plane to catch. And Takeshita was still standing there. And I was like, he's going to interfere.
Yeah, one point there that I did miss is before this match happened, as Will Ospreay was getting ready to come out, Don Callis, Kyle Fletcher, and Takeshita approach him, and Don Callis was like, "We got to talk about last week." You know,
wasn't that dork wearing a Yankees or something like that? Fletcher, when he's wearing somebody else's.
I don't know. Yeah, look, Kyle Fletcher makes a lot of mistakes in his life. One of them is fashion. It's okay.
Yeah, his hair dye color. Yeah.
Oh God. And those tattoos, ugh, boy, it's like a little kid just drew on them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make an action figure in the video game, but I'm just going to do all my kids' drawings as tattoos. Like, it was ugly. But Takeshita interrupts. And so I guess at Wrestle Dream for the International Championship, we're going to get a triple threat of Ricochet. Yes, Ricochet, Takeshita, and Will Ospreay. Not to give away my pick here, but I think this is for Takeshita to take the pin because we're getting the title off of Ospreay.
Right, that makes sense. So now, Takeshita takes the pin from Ricochet. He gets a title on him now.
And then Will Ospreay can go, hey, I want that heavyweight championship now. Or
Takeshita gets the title and he pins Ricochet.
Yeah, either way. But like, I think Will Ospreay, to kind of peek behind the curtain, is going to bigger and better things. Now, one thing that he could take a right turn on and, may not necessarily go for the World Heavyweight Championship is that Continental Classic. He could enter into the Continental Classic to become that champion, take on Okada. That's a big match from their New Japan Wrestling days,
is we're all talking about like the Kyle Fletcher issue with the Don Callis family. What if Will Ospreay turned heel and he kicked Kyle Fletcher out of the Don Callis family, and he was like, "You suck." He was like, "You're in our way. I'm going for the world title." And after that loss, right? And he's like, "And Don's gonna help me, and you suck. We need you out of the way."
Potentially, but Don Callis kind of holds you down. Don Callis is mid-card.
He does. Well, and I think there's he's great every time we see him, but there's a certain lane he does, right? Mm-hmm. He's not really stretching too far out of his lane, and there's not a whole lot of subtlety to it, right?
And after he left Kenny Omega, his ceiling has been mid-card. He isn't necessarily saying, my guy, fill in the blank, is going after Bryan Danielson's championship.